Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Omobolanli Adeshui. Nigeria's Vice President and APC presidential aspirant, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, on Tuesday visited Yobe to seek support from APC delegates ahead of the party's presidential primary. The Vice President, on arrival, was received by Yobe State Governor Mai Malabuni.
What we've tried to do here is to engage delegates of our party, the APC, in discussions about what they would like to see. What sort of country would they want? What are the issues that concern them? And we've talked around a wide variety of issues, from the economy to security to healthcare to education. And it's been a very engaging, very, very rewarding time. And I think that all of us are leaving satisfied with a great deal of zest. And we believe that our country certainly is headed for much, much better times.
And Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State has dissolved the State Executive Council, while his Chief of Staff, Emeka Woke, and his Senior Special Assistant on Protocol, Harold Koko, were sacked. The dissolution and dismissal were contained in a special government announcement signed by Governor Wike's Special Assistant on Media, Kelvin Ebiri, in Port Harcourt on Tuesday morning. No reason was given for the sacking of the two senior government officials. However, the governor thanked the cabinet members for their services and contributions to the state and wished them well in their future endeavors. Governor Wike further instructed all the former members of the State Executive Council to hand over the most senior officers in their respective ministries. The National Working Committee, NWC, of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has approved a revised timetable or schedule of activities for the primary elections for the 2023 poll. This is contained in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Felix Moka, in Abuja. Moka said the governorship, state delegates, State House of Assembly, local government area delegate primaries would be held on May 26. The primary election for Senate and LGA delegate would hold on Friday, May 27, while House of Representatives and local government area delegate primaries would hold on May 28. Moka re-emphasized that the party's special convention for its 2023 presidential primary will hold as scheduled on May 29 and 30. Some bandits who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna-bound AK-9 train on March 28 have threatened to commence the killing of abducted passengers in their custody if the federal government fails to meet their demands within 7 days. Part of the demands were the unconditional release of the detained children held in an orphanage home in Adamawa State under the strict supervision of the Nigerian Army, as well as the release of their detained comrade at arms. The bandits also disclosed that the suspended train service by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, slated for May 23 on the Abuja-Kaduna route, was a result of their threat to the government. Malam Tukur Mamu, a media consultant to Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, claimed the bandits contacted him through one of their leaders, simply identified as Abu Bara, with firm instructions to convey the message to the victim's family as well as the federal government. According to the bandits, the federal government is not sincere with the negotiation, warning that unless their detained children, forcefully taken away by security operatives from their wives in Nasarawa State and detained in Adamawa State, are released, the kidnapped passengers will come out alive. A former Senate President, Ken Nnamani, has recommended the establishment of a bipartisan commission to tackle the security challenges in various parts of the country. Nnamani, who is also seeking to contest the presidential election on the platform of the APC, made the proposal on Monday in Abuja. He lamented that hardly a week passed by without reports of attacks by non-state armed groups on communities and states of the Federation. According to the former Senate President, who led the upper chamber of the National Assembly between 2005 and 2007, the United States adopted a similar approach in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks. He explained that the U.S. government at the time set up a bipartisan commission, which he said led to the creation of the Department of Homeland Security. Namani, however, expressed concerns over the ability of the present police force to tackle the threat, stressing that these challenges required modern training to be effectively nipped in the bud. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Tuesday stormed the residence of former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha. The anti-graft agency team stormed the residence of the former governor in the Maitama area of the Federal Capital Territory to arrest him. The EFCC operatives were seen within the premise of the former governor. They insisted that Okorocha, who is seeking to contest the presidential election on the platform of the APC, should submit himself for arrest or honor a long-standing invitation to their office. The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdulrasheed Bawa, has expressed concern about corruption cases being lost to technicalities at various courts nationwide. He maintained that the development might serve as a disincentive to the fight against economic and financial crimes. The EFCC chair made the submission in Abuja while giving his opening remarks at a 3-day capacity building workshop with the theme, quote, "Judicial Dynamism, a key factor in the fight against economic and financial crimes," end of quote, organized for judicial officers, investigators, and prosecutors. He submitted that graft cases being lost on technical grounds have a way of building confidence in corrupt elements and negatively affecting the cherished image of the judiciary. This has the tendency of affecting negatively the cherished image of and confidence in the Nigerian judiciary, both locally and internationally. Reviewing the impact of the anti-graft movement in the fight against economic and financial crimes in its 19 years of existence, Bawa stressed that the commission had carved a niche for itself with numerous milestones. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says part of his administration's strategic plan is to ensure that Edo State becomes an economic hub through agricultural and industrial activities. The governor made this known when he received the American ambassador to Nigeria, Stuart Sementin, and his team in Government House in the state capital, Benin City, during a working visit. iBrand senior correspondent Iboje Korea has details.
I can't recall at any time in our history when food has now become the issue, so critical. So we've taken it, we always took food for granted throughout our lives because you go to the back of your house, you grow something, and we never thought about it that a day will come when children can't eat because their parents just can't afford the price of bread anymore or the price of eggs. And that's where we suddenly have found ourselves, particularly in the last 10, 12 weeks. And so for us, the number one issue for us in our agenda today is food. And food availability at the price, and for us to be able to sustainably continue to produce food. We have really no excuse not to.
One, on the issue of food costs and food security. I mean, this is, it's always been a difficult issue, but with the recent, Russian invasion of Ukraine, really has brought that issue to the forefront by frustrating movement of production and movement of wheat and production and movement of fertilizer. It's really tough. And what I can tell you is that the United States government is very, very focused not only on this as a worldwide problem, but as a problem that has a particularly difficult impact in Africa. So, for example, something that the State Department and USAID are speaking about on a regular basis. Just last week, or was it the week before, the federal Minister of Agriculture was in New York for a meeting convened with Secretary Blinken to ask about the sorts of solutions that people thought were important. And I know that in the very recently passed legislation with more money from the United States from Ukraine, there is also an element of assistance on food sorts of grounds internationally.
And now to Oyo State, where indigenes of Okeogun Zone and agrarian community of the state have restated their determination at ensuring that the next senator representing Oyo North Senatorial District, emerges from the region. Oyo North Senatorial District is made of 13 local government, 10 from Okiogun and 3 from Ogbomosho Zone. The agitators from different political parties met under the banner of Okiogun Indigenous Youth Solidarity Forum in Shaki. The event, which was sponsored by the elders of Okiogun and Okiogun Indigenous Youth Solidarity Forum, also saw youths carrying placards with different inscriptions.
The point is that Okiogun should rise up and speak with one voice, so that it will be our turn to represent Oyo North Senatorial District in the Senate. Currently, we have a service senator there, who is from Ogomoso, a component of the district. He has served out 2 terms.
In 2015, which was the first time of Senator Fatai Buhari, there was 1,104 votes thereabout, and in Ogomoso land they had 17,000 votes, and we gave them 86,000 votes that time. Even in 2019, we had 107,000 votes in the senatorial district. Ogomoso gave us 18,000 votes. I can go further.
No, we don't want some people to just take a premeditated decision and decide for thousands of people. When you have like 3, 4, 5 people locking themselves in a room and believing that they can just, turn things around and in the favor of some other people, we are not going to accept that. It's simple and straightforward. This is democracy. And the good thing is the new Electoral Act has given opportunity for us, to defend ourselves. We have enough time. All the parties will be going into primaries within now and a couple of weeks. And after primaries, we'll have enough 7 to about 8 months to campaign for us to contest. What I know is Okiogun people will not settle for less. What they want is they want their right, which is their senatorial district, and it shall be taken for them.
And now to health matters. Concerned Nigerians have beckoned on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, rename the Infectious Disease Center, Yaba, Lagos, after the late Ebola heroine Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadevo. The citizens made the call in Ibadan during the launch of a building facility in her honor. National President for the Queen's School, Ibadan, Taiwo Adamson, urged government at all levels to honor Nigerians who had rendered selfless service.
With respect to what we have learned in the school, you can see these people here, they are giving back on what they have learned and the way their hope and their future had been shaped by what happened here. So I'm calling on other alumni to please go back to your schools, see what you can do to further develop education.
The significance is that we are acknowledging and we are celebrating and we are setting a precedent for the young ones that they can make a difference that can be appreciated by the society.
Queen's School Old Girls Association is honoring a great alumna of the school, a lady who has made us proud, a lady who sacrificed her life to save many Nigerians. We cannot celebrate her enough.
As the Excellency said, government alone cannot fund education. So the old boys and old girls must be in the forefront of repositioning their schools.
And that's it on News Now. Up next is entertainment news.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Business. I am Chioma Amaribulam. Snap, the parent company of Snapchat shares, tumbled more than 30% in after trading hours, just after the company disclosed to the Securities and Exchange Commission on Monday that it's expected to miss its revenue guidance for second quarter. In its first quarter earnings report, Snap hinted towards disappointing revenue expectations, given that the company did not disclose a specific revenue target for second quarter as it usually does. Instead, Snap said it expected its revenue growth to increase between 20 to 25% year over year. As for its second quarter adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, Snap forecasted it would break even or hit $50 million. During the company's first quarter earnings call in April, Derek Anderson, Snap's chief financial officer, warned that continued supply chain disruptions, labor shortages, inflation, and the ongoing war on Ukraine would negatively impact the company's Q2 second quarter performance. Speaking at the JP Morgan Global Technology, Media and Communications Conference on Monday, Snap CEO Ivan Spiegel said the company would be changing some of the pacing of Snap's hiring, but said this year would continue to be a period of significant investment for the business. And away from that now, Take-Two Interactive has officially acquired social and mobile gaming company Zynga. The $12.7 billion acquisition announced in January was completed on Monday. The combined company will bring a new slate of popular games to Take-Two, including Zynga's Farmville, Words with Friends, and Zynga Poker. Under the terms of the agreement, Zynga shareholders received $3.50 in cash and 0.0406 shares of Take-Two common stock per share of Zynga common stock. Shareholders voted to approve the deal last week. Take-Two recently reported strong fourth quarter earnings, with games such as NBA 2K22 and NBA 2K21, Grand Theft Auto Online and Grand Theft Auto V, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands driving revenue. At the time, executives said they expected the acquisition of Zynga to create a powerhouse of industry-leading titles at the company. It was previously announced that Zynga CEO Frank Gibeau will stay on with the company and oversee the combination of Zynga and T2 mobile games business. The combined entity will operate under the Zynga brand. And it's a wrap on Intimate Business. I am Chioma Amaribulam. And it's over to you, Samson.
The 2022 UEFA European Women's Football Championship is expected to deliver £54 million in economic activity to the tournament's 9 host cities, according to a study by Ernst & Young. The 9 destinations Brighton and Hove, London, Manchester, Milton Keynes, Rotherham, Sheffield, Southampton, Trafford, as well as Wigan and Leigh are set to welcome 96,000 international visitors from 95 territories for the tournament, which takes place in England from the 6th to the 31st of July. The report from UEFA and the FA, produced by professional services firm EY, states that the Women's Euro 2022 international broadcast audience could reach more than 250 million across at least 195 territories globally. Both cities are also likely to see a positive socio-economic impact thanks to more than 5,500 people taking part in the volunteer program. The report reveals that ticket sales for the tournament are on track to double the attendance of Women's Euro 2017 in the Netherlands, which welcomed more than 240,000 fans. UEFA also announced last August that more than 140,000 tickets had been sold for Women's Euro 2022, including 53,000 for the final at Wembley Stadium. The tournament is also aiming to provide more than 500,000 inclusive opportunities for women and girls to participate and engage with football through focused efforts of legacy groups within each of the host cities. And still talking sports business at this time, Premier League clubs could soon face a ban on shirt sponsorship deals with betting brands after a proposal to outlaw such agreements was included in a UK government draft white paper. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport confirmed it will be releasing the policy documents in the coming weeks, setting out the proposals for future legislation on what it says will make UK gambling laws fit for the digital age. Across English football's top flight and the second-tier championship, betting shirt sponsorship deals were worth a combined £100 million during the 2021-2022 season. The English Football League, which runs the 3 professional football tiers below the Premier League, says that a ban on gambling deals could cause teams to lose out on £40 million annually. In April, the UK's Committee of Advertising Practice announced plans to ban betting adverts from featuring sports stars and social media influencers. In addition, betting firms will be prevented from including teams' official kits and stadiums in any potential campaigns, as well as showing video game content. And finally, on sports business at this hour, the International Olympic Committee's financial statement for 2021 shows that the organization saw its revenue in the 2017 to 2021 cycle increase to $7.6 billion, up from $5.7 billion in the previous Olympiad. For 2021, the IOC said it recognized $4.2 billion in total revenue, courtesy of the rescheduled Tokyo 2020 Games. Total assets at 31st December 2021 were $5.6 billion, compared to $5.7 billion in 2020. Cash and cash equivalents of current assets were $548.9 million, down from $866.6 million at the end of 2020. The IOC's Olympic Partner Worldwide Sponsorship Program brought in $835.6 million in revenue for 2021, while television broadcasting rights pulled in $3.1 billion. The organization added that it had supported the Olympic movement with the equivalent of $4.2 million per day for 365 days a year in the entire 2017 to 2021. And that's it on sports business. Up next is the stock market report.
Welcome to Business News. I am Frank Omalape. Now, Nigerian equities markets on the Nigerian Exchange Limited continues a downward trend on Tuesday as the all-share index declined by 1.8% to settle at 51,949.64 points against the 0.13% depreciation recorded on Monday. On the Gadas chart, shares of Japan Gold gained at 3 kobo after rallying by 10% to close at 33 kobo, while Industrial and Medical Gases Nigeria PLC trailed closely with 90 kobo to close at 10 naira, while MROs gained about 1 naira 45 kobo to close at 16 naira 40 kobo. Shares of Abe Mortgage Bank PLC and Academy Press Limited jumped by 15 kobo and 11 kobo to close at 1 naira 80 kobo and 1 naira 46 kobo respectively. On the losers list now, gainers led with about 9 naira 80 kobo to close at 88 naira 20 kobo at the end of the trading session. Trailing behind are shares of Global Spectrum Energy PLC shedding 30 kobo to close at 2 naira 77 kobo from 3 naira 7 kobo earlier, while shares of Mansard, Chams and Veritas Capital shed 9.7% and 8.7% accordingly. This is the second trading day of the week as the equities market has fallen from an all-time high of almost 54,000 mark to 51,949.64 basis points on Tuesday. All right, for further analysis now, I've been joined by Mr. Olaide Bano, research analyst at Atlas Portfolio Limited. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time on Business Now.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Frank. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some of the figures as seen earlier. Give us an update on the activities in the market today. What's the update now?
The market today experienced the most bearish sentiment in 15 months. So to say, the last time we had as low as 1.82% in the equity market in the day was February 2021. So the market today, I believe, was a result of the reaction to the MPC tightening of the MPR by 150 basis points to 13%. So I believe the fund managers are taking to looking their profit to watch how the price is going to look like in the near future.
All right. Are you saying that the outcome of the MPC also contributed to the results we're seeing today in the market?
Yes. I mean, no, before the MPC announced the decision, the market has been on a very settlement, but it's not as heavy as it. But immediately the MPC made the announcement, it shot a sharp further decline in the equity market.
But just before today, I mean, we've seen the market falling from an all-time high of almost 54,000 last week to 51,949.64 basis points Tuesday today. So what are the factors responsible for these proceedings up to date?
Before last week, the market was on a bullish sentiment where investors are actually taking position in various stocks following their Q1 earnings and so on. So the market has been on very bullish sentiment before, but as of last week, we started seeing profit taking gradually. So, but for today, I believe as a result of the NPC decision for tightening up the NPL.
Interestingly, the CBN voted unanimously to increase the interest rate for the first time in 2.5 years as the Apex Bank increased the lending rate, just like you said earlier, from 11.5% to 13%. So what's likely to change now in the equities market going forward, given that this surprise increase was against the projection of some analysts in the market?
The tightening up of this NPL is going to affect the market as we expect the fund manager to begin their profit taking in order to reprice the number of stocks we have in the market. So by the time the price actually decline, then to a considerable price, then we believe that investors will continue, will come back to the market. But as we speak, we expect a further decline in the market.
Okay, so you are saying there is going to be further decline in the market?
I believe so. Because as we speak now, majority of fund managers and HNIs begin profit taking.
Perhaps this might take a little bit for the market to adjust to this new reality of the interest rate as announced today by the Central Bank of Nigeria. What sentiment is likely to dominate the market going forward? And where are some of these funds likely to flow to in the coming days?
We expect the investors and the market generally to react to this because what we expect that if there should be a tightening, it will rather be a kind of 50 basis points or maximum like 100 basis points. But what we see today was very light, 150 basis points increase. So this is going to have a significant effect on the equity market.
Well, I think we should leave it there. Thank you so much, Mr. Olaide Bano. He is a research analyst at Atlas Portfolio Limited. We appreciate your time on Business Now.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, and that's it for the market report for today. Thank you for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Stay tuned for the rest of the news.